spilled.
Pete Hegseth.
You're making it up.
Wait, are you saying the exact date, time, and location of a military strike isn't a secret?
To who?
To Jeffrey Goldberg, to his mom, to his sister. You can't be doing that. That's like beyond protocol.
I did forget that guy was in there.
All right, here we go. This is going to be a fun video because I flew to Michigan for Trump's 100-day celebration rally to debate his supporters, to push back on their propaganda, and to spread our pro-democracy message. Now, I want to show you guys the footage for the first time. I haven't seen most of this footage. My editor just put it together, so we're going to go through. We're going to break down some of the best debates. It really does get ridiculous. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you stick around until the end for a surprise, and let's jump in with this first interaction. Then we'll break it down.
How would you grade Trump's first 100 days?
100.
100%?
Yep.
Really? Nothing wrong yet?
Nothing. I'm not worried about nothing.
What have you enjoyed seeing him do over the past 100
The border
days?
for one, the tariffs for two, especially getting these illegals. They got to go. They got all of them.
Can I ask you, the tariffs have been quite controversial. How do you?
They are.
What are your thoughts on the tariffs?
It's a long-term goal. It's a short-term pain, but long-term goal.
If it's such a long-term goal, why is Trump flip-flopping like a fish out of water, putting 145% tariffs on China, then making an exemption for their largest export, then removing Liberation Day tariffs? If he was so confident in his long-term plan, then he would stick with one plan. This unpredictability is making it impossible for anybody to function.
I'm giving him the benefit.
Does it ever worry you when he said he'll lower prices on day one or the first 100 days?
It's funny that you say that because he probably shouldn't have said that. But the mess we're in, it's going to take a lot longer than that. So.
But what worries me is he said the same thing about the Russia-Ukraine war as well. He said day one he's going to end it, but he wasn't able to.
Of course not. I mean, anybody that believed that is crazy.
Now,
As he has her bedazzled Trump hat that my cameraman zoomed in on, wears her bedazzled Trump hat and her Trump stuffed teddy bear with the Trump hair. That's probably from China.
how do you grade his first 100 days so far?
I'm not mad at him, if that's what you mean.
yeah.
Obviously, we'd like to get more done, but we got a bunch of crybabies holding things up.
What more would you like to see him do?
We gotta get them prices down. And when he says day one, I know better than to think day one.
Yeah.
I'm from New York. I know how we talk, so I know better than to take everything seriously.
Do you think there's a chance the tariffs could have the inverse effect and drive up prices a little bit too much? Because there's always a chance of that.
There's always a chance, but when have we tried?
With tariffs, we have never tried this hard.
Exactly.
Actually, we did try it 100 years ago during the Great Depression. It didn't go well.
No, we were pretty depressed back then.
Well, the tariffs put us further into the depression. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
I don't think it will, but it's a snap of a finger to take them right off too. And he's already said if they don't work, they don't work.
The thing with the tariffs is even if you take them off, there's going to be months of supply chain shortages and disruptions that could really put us back into COVID.
This guy has no clue what the hell I'm talking about. The reality is, even if everything went back to normal, even if China removed their tariffs, the US removed their tariffs entirely, it wouldn't actually go back to normal. There's a 30-day delay, and we're already starting to see supply chain disruptions.
I loved Pete Hegseth.
Does it worry you when Pete Hegseth does the Signal group chat and like goes against national security protocols?
If nobody's seen nothing, nobody's seen nothing. I'm not gonna cry about it. I use Signal for stuff that I don't want people seeing too. So
Yeah, but-
I'm not a government official or anything like that. I get that, but yeah, I wouldn't have liked that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna cry about it because it was a personal conversation. I don't think.
Well, it related to national security, and it's okay if you use Signal, but as long as you're not doing Houthi bomb plans on Signal, right?
Houthi didn't see shit.
Yeah,
So,
but
I'm not
Jeffrey.
gonna cry about something that didn't happen. It was a lesson learned. We go from there.
Yeah, but that's like almost getting hit by a car in the middle of the road and saying,
Learn not to do it again.
well, that's like saying I'm going to keep standing in the middle of the road and keep using Pete Hegseth, because he did it multiple times. Does it ever worry you when Trump pulls someone off of Fox News? He doesn't really have the qualifications, and then multiple times he goes against national security. And think about it. If he would have sent that to the wrong person, our military members would have, their lives would have been in jeopardy. The Houthi.
I'm sorry, but this is the smartest Trump voter. This is the smartest Trump voter.
If we did a land invasion, and that could have been, you know.
It doesn't have to be a land invasion. Do you think that accidentally spilling military protocol secrets does not put people's lives in danger?
Who accidentally spilled secrets?
Pete Hegseth.
making that up.
Pete Hegseth accidentally
spilled.
Pete
You're
Hegseth.
making it up.
Wait, are you saying the exact date, time, and location of a military strike isn't a secret?
To who?
To Jeffrey Goldberg, to his mom, to his sister. You can't be doing that. That's like beyond protocol.
I did forget that guy was in there.
How would you grade Trump's first 100 days so far?
I give him A+.
A+, no problems at all?
No.
So when it comes to the tariffs, do you think that there's a chance that it could raise inflation for working families?
No, it don't. Because issue is with tariffs, you have to build in this country in order to avoid the tariffs. That's 100% true. And that's how we're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve, along with the IRS and all the taxes as well.
If you want to build new plants in this country, you're going to have to import goods from other countries. And if the tariffs come into effect right away, there's no grace period. There's no grace period for people to rebuild manufacturing plants, to hire people. So Trump is making it harder for plants to be reshored. And then, could you see my argument there?
No, he is not.
No, you can't see my argument.
The real threat is China.
I mean, sure.
I got a message for China. It's a middle finger. Okay? You want to mess with America, China? Here's my middle finger. Come see me. You ever read the Bible?
Sure.
Russia will take back all its land, and I'm 100% on the side of that.
Really? You're on the side of Russia?
When it comes to worldwide issue, yes, Russia, 100%.
Do you think Trump should be on the side of Russia?
Trump already is.
Why do you think he's on the side of Russia?
Because it's better to keep Russia as like a friend than a foe.
If you went to high school with someone that was a huge bully and he was known for violating other people's spaces, beating the shit out of other people, non-consensually touching women, is this someone who you would want to be friends with, or is this someone you try to stay away from and maybe push your own values?
Push my own values.
You wouldn't want to be friends with someone that's bad, right? How do you grade the first 100 days of Trump's presidency?
Great, but scary.
What's scary about it?
Just a little bit of the unknown, but I know that's how he works.
How have you felt about Elon Musk's involvement with the admin?
I'm cool.
Yeah, you like him?
I do.
Do you like what Doge is trying to do?
Yes.
And pay close attention to this part. This mom describes how her 30-year-old son has autism, and let me know in the comment section if you can hear why you think it is. She says the reason, and I try to walk her through it, but take a listen.
Finding the reason so many children are getting autism.
That's your main. That's your main.
Why
concern.
I'm here. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. There's a reason. I have a 30-year-old son who's autistic, so.
Do you think that autism has been caused by environmental factors or vaccines? Do you think there's some...
I think they give babies shots within 48 hours that is very unnecessary. When a woman has a child, they're checked for all these things. Okay? If there's a chance that possibly that baby could be infected, then there's a reason. Had I known when I had my kids that it was a sexually transmitted disease, the Hep B, my kids would have never gotten that shot then.
With autism, over the past 100 years, we've gotten a lot better at identifying it. In the 40s and 50s, we didn't really know how to identify autism. We didn't know that it was a spectrum.
Right.
So throughout the 90s, throughout the early 2000s, we're able to identify it in a lot more precise way. As we've been able to identify it, it appears like more and more people are getting autism, but in fact, we're just better at realizing when someone has autism during that developmental stage. Could you see how people are reversing the correlation and causation? They're seeing something where it's not there?
Yes, but how many of the children on that spectrum are high functioning?
That has nothing to do with it. And high functioning isn't really a phrase that people use, but
How many of them are actually severe? I mean, I don't know what the ratio is. I just know what it is. The 1 to 36 kids that are born. When my son was born, it was 1 in every 10. I now have
those numbers, obviously, I think she meant to reverse them.
niece, nephew. I have 2 grandchildren, all autistic.
Can I ask you, what year was your son born?
He was born in 95.
Do you think there's a chance that from 1995 to 2025, we've gotten better at detecting these things? We've come up with new solutions. Therefore,
Yeah, as time goes on and you're looking into things, you're going to find, okay, well, that's a trait, and that's a trait.
couldn't that
I will tell you that I have traits that could fit into that spectrum. So
So she very explicitly says in this video that Many people in her family, I think she said her niece, her sister, they all have autism. And then she wonders if her son has autism because of the vaccine. That is her just desperate for a simple answer to a complex question, and I'll leave it at that. Check this out. We are on the verge of leveling up this independent media space, and we can do it together. First of all, thank you to everyone who's helped support this channel thus far, but we're about to do it bigger and better. I want to elevate the Trump supporter debates. I want more pro-democracy events in DC. We've done live streams in the Capitol building and roundtable debates with some big Trump supporter names. But we're about to level this up. We don't have the billions of dollars in backing that some right-wingers have. We don't have Elon Musk propping up a right-wing disinformation sphere, but we do have a lean, mean, pro-democracy media machine that we've helped create. So if you're able to become a member, then please do. If you can't, don't worry. We have a bunch of free, high-quality content coming in the near future, but if you're able to support, it would mean the world. Thank you all, and peace out.